Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Abhishek, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Just a second.
Yes.
Okay, Abhishek, tell me something about yourself.
Good evening, sir. First of all, my name is Abhishek Jaiswal, and I am from Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh. Right now, I'm working as a relationship manager in HDFC Bank. So it's been total experience of 5 years in banking. Prior to this, I was working with Kotak Mahindra Bank, and prior to that, I was in Standard Chartered Bank, sir. So working in banking made me realize that I've gained interest in this investment banking, the share markets, the re-KYC and AML. So I came to know about this course and enrolled this so that I can enter the investment banking companies. And the main motive was to basically get a chance to work abroad if possible, working in these investment companies. And I'm a very happy, confident, and very honest guy. And yes, sir, that's it.
Okay, okay. So, how many pillars of financial systems are there?
So financial markets, financial products, financial participants, and financial services and regulations. Total four products.
Okay.
Yes.
And could you name some financial participants?
Financial participants, sir, it can be retail investors, HNI clients, the depositories, the custodians, etc. Sir.
Okay. What do you mean by custodian?
So custodian is an institution which safeguards the underlying assets of the clients.
Okay. And who are repositories?
So depositories are like
Repositories.
repositories are those who safeguard the data or the info in the electronic form.
Okay. They safeguard or they hold?
They hold, sir, basically. Yes.
Okay. What is the difference between direct finance and indirect finance?
So direct finance in which the investors directly meet with the issuers and they do their trade. There is no intermediaries between them. And indirect, for example, if you invest in the mutual fund, then mutual fund invest in the share market, so it acts as an intermediary. So that's an indirect finance.
Okay. Okay. What is the difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
Sorry, sir.
What is difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
So order-driven markets are done on the exchange, sir. In this, the transparency is very high and the transaction cost is very low. And where this code-driven, it is done on the OTC platform where transparency is very low and the transaction cost is very high, sir.
Okay. Order execution guarantee is high in which market?
Sorry, sir.
Order execution guarantee. is high. Where? Code driven or order driven?
Sir, order driven.
No.
Okay.
Okay. What is difference between preference shares and ordinary shares?
Sir, ordinary shares are the normal share that the shareholder gets, and whereas the preferential share, they get the preference when there is the issuance of the dividend and the at the time of the repayment when there is a company is in to closure. Whereas the ordinary shares they don't receive the well they receive the dividend, but after the preferred shareholders receive the dividend is the major difference between both of them, sir.
What about voting rights?
So voting rights are given to both, sir.
No, no, no. Preference don't have voting rights.
Which one's a preferential?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are participating preference shares?
So participating preferences are those shares which participates when there is a surplus or profits of the company, apart from the dividend also. They get the dividend also, and they participate in the profits of the company also.
Okay. And what are cumulative preference shares?
So cumulative preference shares are those shares in which the dividends is given of every year. If by chance, for example, if in 2012 or in 2013 the dividend was not paid and in 2014 it is being paid, then the dividend of the year of 2012 and 13 will be paid to them. So there will be no dividend loss in this kind of shares.
Okay. What do you mean by ADR?
Sir, ADR is American Depository Receipts. It is a negotiable instrument which is issued by the depository to which represents the shares which are held by the depository or the custodian bank, and it is this ADR is done in the American market, New York Stock Exchange. Sir.
Okay. How many types of ADR are there?
So two types.
Okay.
One is sponsored and one is non-sponsored.
Okay. What is the difference between both of them?
So sponsored, there are three levels. In level one, there is very minimum compliance, and it is traded into the OTC, and in the level two, there is moderate compliance. It is traded in exchange, and in level three, it is uh, full compliance, and it is traded in the exchange. And
Level 2 is
in
traded where? Level 2 is traded where?
exchange, sir.
Okay.
And in non-sponsored, it is the receipt is issued without the consent of the company. It is done on the public demand, sir. Basically.
Okay. What are the objectives of secondary market?
So objective of secondary market is to enhance the stability in the market, to ensure the proper liquidation in the market, to control the
Liquidation or liquidity?
liquidity, sir. Liquidity in the market, and to increase the transparency between the issuers and the investors.
Okay. What about price discovery?
Price discovery.
Hmm.
Sir, it is price discovery. Sir, don't know. We'll get back to sir. I don't know.
Okay. What are different types of money market products?
So money markets, certificate of deposit, commercial paper, treasury bills. Then we have repurchase agreement and interbank lending.
Okay. How are commercial papers issued?
Sir, commercial papers are issued by the corporates. They are issued at a discounted price and redeemed at par. The interest is the difference between the issue price and the price at which it is redeemed, sir. So it is basically done in the OTC platform or done in the private also if the corporates are issuing, sir.
Okay. And how are treasury bills issued?
So treasury bills are issued through an auction process. That auction is also known as the Dutch auction, in which the bidders come. There are two types of bidders in that: competitive and non-competitive. So in this, bidders bid the price, and the bidders are chosen as per the highest bid and the lowest yield, because the government does not want to pay more interest. So they choose those bidders who bid higher price and the interest is less.
Okay. What are different types of interbank lending?
So first one is overnight lending, in which the money is given back on the next day. Then there is a call money, in which the money is given once it is called from the lender. Then there is notice money, in which the money is given back in 2 to 14 days. Then there is term money lending, in which the money is lent for more than 2 weeks, sir.
Okay. What is the maximum life of money market product?
Maximum of money market is 1 year, sir.
Okay. And are money market products traded on exchange?
No, sir.
Okay. What is the relationship between interest rate and yield?
Interest rate and yield. So when the interest rate goes up, the yield also goes up, and the interest rate goes down, the yield also goes down, sir.
Interest rate and yield is direct.
Yes, sir.
What is the relationship between bond price and yield?
When the bond price is low, the yield is high, vice versa. When bond is high, the yield is low.
Then what is the relationship between, what is the relationship? Inverse or direct?
This between bond and yield, it's inverse.
Yes.
And
Okay.
between interest rate and yield, it's direct.
Okay. And what do you mean by junk bonds?
So junk bonds are the bonds which are issued by the companies or the corporates which have very low credit rating.
It's a very low credit rating.
Yes.
Okay. What a perpetual bond?
Perpetual bonds are those bonds who does not have the maturity date, fixed maturity date, and the coupon is also paid at the time of the maturity.
Sorry, perpetual bond is bond which does not have any maturity. And coupon is paid when?
When it is redeemed, sir. Whenever it is redeemed.
No. Maturity अगर होती नहीं तो how will it be redeemed?
No, I'll learn this.
What is assumption of 30 by 360?
30 by 360, sir, it is done to calculate the accrued interest, sir. So 30 by 360, with the number of month we take 30 on in that, number of days we take 30, and the number of days in a year we take 360, and we can calculate the accrued interest with that, sir.
Okay. What is dirty price?
So dirty price is the clean price plus the accrued interest, which is there's both addition of the both.
Okay. What is direct quote?
So direct quote. Direct quote, sir. Direct quote, sir, in which the value of the foreign currency is
What does
determined.
direct quote gives us?
The value of the foreign currency in domestic value, sir.
I didn't understand. Sorry.
The value of the dollar in the domestic currency, sir.
That is the price of a currency, right? Price of foreign currency.
Yes,
And what
price.
does indirect code gives us?
It is the quantity of the foreign currency against the domestic currencies.
Okay. What do you understand by non-deliverable forward?
So non-deliverable forward is a cash settlement, basically, and it is taken on the non-deliverable currency, those currencies which are not freely exchangeable between two non-domestic countries. Sir, this process is also known as fixing, in which the exchange rate is uh, fixed by the source and the date is also fixed by it. The fixing source is the central bank of the country, and the fixing date is the 2 days prior to the settlement date.
Okay. And how is profit calculated in NDF settlement?
Sorry, sir.
How is profit calculated in NDF settlement?
Sir, no, I'll get back to you.
Okay. What do you mean by credit default swap?
Credit default swap. It is one of the elements in which the exchange
What is credit default swap? What contract is credit default swap?
sir, in which the exchange take place between the fixed interest rate and the floating interest rate.
What do you mean by interest rate swap?
So interest rate swap in which the two counterparties swap on the basis of the interest rate itself. For example, if company A has the securities with floating interest rate and the company B has a fixed interest rate, to company A get into IRS with company B so that it receives the fixed interest from the company B and the losses can be covered, sir.
No, not very clear.
इस थोड़ा derivatives and swap मेरा concept नहीं है कि मैं learning.
What do you mean by in the money option?
In the money में sir profit होता है if it's a call option, then the spot price as on expiry should be greater than the break even point, and if it's a put option, then the spot on expiry is less than the break even point.
Okay. What is the maximum profit of short put?
Maximum profit of short launch. It's unlimited, sir.
Maximum profit of short put. Okay. Now, if I have taken a sell future and the price at which I took the spot price when I took the sell future was 2490 spot price. When I took a sell future contract, 2490. The next day price, next day the price went to 2485. So what is,
sir?
I'm saying I took a sell future, right? When I just hold. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I was saying I have taken a sell future, and the
Okay.
spot price when I took sell future was 2490.
Okay. 2490.
Next day price went to 2485.
Okay.
Right? What is the
Yes, sir.
mark to market profit or loss?
So profit हुआ है इसमें 5 का.
Okay. ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है. You can go. You can message in the group for Ajay Jadhav to join. Ajay Jadhav.
Sir, any feedback? मतलब थोड़ा
So
derivatives में है थोड़ा
derivatives,
issue मेरे को है ना.
हाँ
मैं
derivative
पढ़ रहा हूँ
swaps
उसको.
में issue है. बाकी rest other things are good, but please brush up again and again.
Yes,
Until and
yes.
unless you get a final call for an interview, please revise your concepts.
Sure, sir.
ठीक
Thank you,
है.
sir.
Overall, it was very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
मैं मैसेज डालता हूँ सर.
हाँ.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello, Ajay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, Ajay. Can you tell me something about yourself?
Sir, basically, I am from Satara. I have completed my graduation in BBA IB, International Business. Recently, I have completed my MBA in Marketing last year in October, and I am currently working at Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance. My role is as a sales manager, recruiting the agents and working with them for creating new business.
Okay. And since how long you're working with them?
1 year, 4 months. Last year in January, I have joined.
Okay. And why do you want to move into IB?
Sir, I basically wanted to switch the job in IB only from starting only, but because of Corona, I did not got the opportunity. And while performing Bajaj, I was used to switch the client's portfolio in mutual funds, like in equity, debt. So got more interest in that, and so I have joined the course of MRT Plus.
Okay. Okay. How many pillars of financial systems are there?
Sorry, sir.
How many pillars are there in financial system?
There are 4 pillars: financial products, financial market, financial services, financial participants, and fourth one is financial products, services, financial market,
Financial market.
financial market, financial services, financial participants, and
You said it earlier.
financial.
Financial products.
Yes, yes. The fourth one was like, what are the
Financial
financial?
products.
Yes, yes,
Financial
products like
products.
derivatives, commodities.
Okay. Which one is a long-term
Yes,
market in financial markets?
in secondary,
Which
sir,
one?
money market.
Secondary market is a long-term market.
Sorry, primary market is a long-term market. Secondary is like day-to-day trading, futures and options. Like,
And which is a short-term market?
short-term markets are money market.
Okay. What is difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
Order-driven market is basically on exchange, and Quote driven market is basically on OTC platform. Order driven is like high speed and liquidity is there, and transparency is also there in order driven market. In quote market, there is less transparency and counterparty risk is there. Liquidity is more in quote driven market. That's also.
Okay. Could you name some financial participants?
Yes, sir. Financial participants like mutual fund, hedge funds, pension funds, depositories, custodians, brokers, and mutual funds, HNI, investors, investment banks, government, that also.
Okay. What do you mean by depositories?
Depositories are holding our securities in the electronic form.
Okay. And what do you mean by custodians?
Custodians are like they are the safeguarding our assets, sir. The assets of investors.
Okay. What are the objectives of secondary market?
Objectives of secondary market, sir, they are like providing the liquidity in the market and trading of the issued means stocks or securities which are previously on the market. That can.
Sorry, say it again.
Sir, providing liquidity in the market, and they are like the previously listed stocks are there. The trading has been done on that, on the secondary market.
Okay, but what is the purpose of secondary market? One is liquidity.
Yes, yes.
Other
is for the retailers and hedging.
No. What is the difference between direct finance and indirect finance?
Direct finance is like the retailer meets the investor directly, and indirect finance like it is through mutual funds. That will be the best example.
Okay. What is the difference between equity share, ordinary shares and preference shares?
Ordinary share and preference share. Preference share are given the rights like when they are given the preference. It can be defined as preferential rights are given in the way like the dividends and the capital which have been given will be preferred for the preferential shareholders first when the unwinding of the company has been done. In ordinary market, they are not given the preference for those shareholders.
In ordinary market or ordinary shares?
Ordinary shares, sorry.
Okay. Choose your words carefully. Okay?
Yes, sir.
How many types of preference shares are there?
Preference share, there are cumulative, non-cumulative, ordinary, cumulative, non-cumulative, convertible, non-convertible, redeemable, non-redeemable, and fourth one is participating and non-participating.
What are cumulative and non-cumulative preference shares?
Cumulative shares can be defined as like when the company is in the loss and they are not providing the dividends, and when the company is after 2 or 3 years, if the company is providing getting the profits, then the like all the dividends of the past years is accumulated and the provided to the cumulative preferential shares. And in the non-cumulative, it has not been working like that.
Clarity नहीं है आंसर
सर थोड़ा एक वापस बोलोगे सर?
ठीक है, try.
हाँ, in cumulative shares, the cumulative share holders, yes, sorry sir, cumulative shares in the company which are providing losses for the last 2 or 3 years, the whole of the dividend which have been allotted to the shareholders has been not provided to the shareholders, and in the case when the company gets the profit, it distributes the dividend which has been not given under 2 to 3 years span.
Okay. 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 Correct. What is ADR?
ADR is American Depository Receipts.
Okay. What are ADR?
ADR are issued for the Indian banks, Indian companies who want the
Only
overseas.
Indian companies. Only Indian companies.
For Indian company who want the overseas investors to invest in their companies.
No. 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 Think about it. What is American Depository Receipt?
Sir, I know that much only. Like for the Indian companies who want.
नहीं आप रियल इंटरव्यू में ऐसे नहीं बोल, आप रियल कंपनी में ऐसे बोल दोगे आई नो दैट मच ओनली, वो बोल देगा ठीक है लीव.
नहीं नो सर. Means I have read about.
How many money market products are there?
Money market, treasury bills, certificate of deposit, commercial papers, interbank lending. These.
How many money market products are there? Certificate of deposit,
Treasury
commercial paper, treasury bill. Treasury
yes,
bill.
Treasury bills, commercial paper, certificate of deposits, interbank lending, and one another is there. Repo or something it was, repurchase agreement.
Okay. How are commercial papers issued?
Commercial papers are basically negotiable instruments. They are issued by.
I'm saying
corporates.
how are commercial papers issued?
Okay, how?
It's a one-word answer.
Just a second, sir.
Okay, who issues commercial paper?
Corporate, sir.
Okay, and how are they issued?
That only I am not getting.
Okay, how are treasury bills issued?
Treasury bills are issued by banks and.
No, treasury bills are issued by banks.
Yes, sir.
No. What is the maximum life of a money market product?
1 year.
Okay. Are money market products traded on exchange?
No. No.
Okay. What are different types of bonds?
Bonds like zero coupon bonds, junk bonds, foreign bonds, and deferred bonds, perpetual bonds, government bonds are there.
Okay. What do you mean by junk bonds?
Junk bonds are the bonds which have less credit rating or don't have a good credit rating.
Okay. What are inflation index bonds?
Inflation index bonds are the bonds which guarantee the returns more than the inflation and which.
No.
They means like assure the investors like they will give for good returns than the inflation, which will beat the inflation basically.
Yeah, beat the inflation is correct.
Yes.
And what is relationship between interest rates and bond price?
Sir, when the interest rates are increasing, that time the bond rates are decreasing. It is like inversely.
Bond rates.
Bond rates, yes.
I'm saying what is the relationship between interest rates and bond price?
Bond price.
Yes, what is the relationship between interest rates and bond price?
Just a second, sir. When the interest rates go higher, the bond price also goes higher.
No. What happens to bond price when interest rates go up?
They also increase.
No.
No, basically they decrease only.
No. पहले अलग अभी अलग ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. You need to
मैंने
be
तो
firm.
इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल था, पर अभी प्राइस का आपने पूछ लिया.
Okay, what is relationship between interest rate and yield?
It is inversely proportional, sir.
Interest rate and yield. I'm saying what is relationship between
go same only. Like when the interest rate goes up, yield price also grows up, and when it is down, yield also goes down.
Okay. Wait. Okay. How do we calculate accrued interest?
Accrued interest, like
how is accrued interest calculated?
It is calculated by DCC, like actual by 365, actual by 360, and 30 by 360, and last one was actual by actual.
Okay. What does 30 by 360 assume?
30 by 360?
Assumes. What is the assumption of 30 by 360?
No, sir, I'm not getting it.
Okay. What do you mean by securitization?
Securitization is like it helps in providing the liquidity for the illiquid securities, like main work is that only.
What do we mean by securitization?
No, sir, I'm not getting the proper definition of it.
Okay. What do you mean by direct quote?
Direct quote. Just a second.
What do you mean by direct quote?
I was just a minute. Sir, it can be direct quote is like getting the just a minute. It is like we direct quote can be defined as it represents the foreign currency, the price of one foreign currency with respect to domestic currency. Like $1 is equal to 76 rupees.
Okay, good.
Indirect.
What do you mean by NDF?
NDF. Not getting the proper word, sir. It was like non-redeemable or something like that.
What are different? What do you mean by FX sell?
What do you mean by FX?
FX sell.
FX sell is like selling the foreign currency and buying the domestic currency.
Okay. What do you mean by credit default swap?
Credit default swap. It's like, sir, paying the premium and getting the protection of the assets.
But what do you mean by credit default swap? Definition. This is not the way you can. This is not the way you can answer an interview, right?
Yes, sir. So
नौ के
basically,
मतलब टाइम पास लग रहा है आपको?
नहीं sir. No, sir, no idea.
Okay. You have taken a call option and the strike price was 2,580.
2,580.
80. Your call option strike price is 2,580. And the price as on expiry date is 2,590. Right?
Yes.
Your premium is 5 rupees.
Yes.
What is moneyness of the option?
Sir, moneyness means like what you wanted to ask.
Moneyness of the option. Topic hike. We saw 3 different types of moneyness. In the money, at the
Like
money,
in
at
the
the
money,
money.
at the money, out of the money. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So again, I'm repeating. You have a call option. Strike price is 2,580. Premium is 5. Spot as an expiry is
just to get, sir,
2,590.
I will write strike price 2,580.
80. Strike is
Yes.
2,580.
Yes.
Premium is 5.
Yes.
And spot as on expiry is 2,590.
2,590.
What is moneyness?
2,580. 2,590. It is out of the money, sir.
No. You have taken a sell future. You have taken a sell future. The spot as on contract date was 2,572.
2,572.
And your contract is sell future. Okay. Next day, the price went to 2,574.
Yes.
Okay. What is the mark to market balance?
It will be, sir, minus only.
How much?
Futures lot into the difference between 72 and 2 rupees into the future lot, like it will be bank nifty or nifty. If 25 into 2, like 50 points minus, 50 rupees minus. Sorry.
Okay, you can go.
Okay,
You will have to prepare a lot. Okay. You are very weak in all of the topics almost. Cash equity was little bit okay, but money market was very weak. Fixed income was very weak. FX was very weak. Derivatives is very weak. Okay, this is not the way you will be able to clear interviews. Let me tell you very clearly.
Okay, sir.
You will have to work hard.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. You can ask Ajay Kumar to join.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Hello. You are on mute.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
Hello. I'm not able to see you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Now, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Ajay, tell me something about yourself.
Myself, Ajay. I am from Kerala. I'm right now working at Reserve Bank for the past 2.5 years.
You're working where?
Reserve Bank.
ISAF.
Yes, it's a Kerala-based scheduled small finance bank.
Kerala based scheduled bank.
Scheduled small finance bank.
Small finance bank.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My family consists of my mother, father, sister, and my grandmother. And I completed my graduation in 2018 with majors in mathematics. And I have been into this bank for the past 2.5 years. And right now, I'm working as operations manager.
Okay.
That's all about me. My hobbies are really driving and binge watching.
Okay. Okay. How many pillars are there in financial system?
4.
Okay. What are those?
Financial regulators, financial institutions. Sorry, I can.
Do you attend classes regularly?
Yes, sir. Many of the first classes I missed it.
What do you missed it?
The first set of classes. Actually, I am constantly attending since money market.
I have sent all the notes on WhatsApp group. You would have gone through them, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. What are the 4 pillars of financial system?
Financial regulators,
Financial markets,
financial regulators, financial products, financial services.
financial participants.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Can you name some financial participants?
Financial participants are investment banks,
And
financial participants and investment banks, retail banks, corporates, individuals, and government companies, depositories, custodians, mutual funds, companies, etc. and all.
what do you mean by depositories?
Depositories are government-appointed agencies which accepts deposits like who hold securities in electronic form.
No.
No, depository is an institution.
What is depositories and?
Depository is an institution by the government who holds securities in electronic form.
Okay. You should not use the word government.
Okay.
What is the difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
Code-driven market, the codes, the fixed, the prices are already fixed and the settlement dates, the lot sizes, the exchange dates are all already fixed, and the order-driven markets, it's the market traded in exchanges. Order-driven market is done through exchanges and code-driven market is done through OTC.
Okay. In which market there is transparency?
Transparency is higher in code-driven markets.
No. Which market has higher liquidity?
Order-driven market has higher liquidity and the risk is lower in order-driven market.
What are the objectives of secondary market?
Money. It is a platform to trade actually investors and investors meet. It's actually an OTC market, secondary market, and it's not done through exchanges.
No. What is the difference between ordinary and preference shares?
Ordinary shares are normal shares issued from a just from every common shares, and preference shares are shares which carries the preferential rights of for paying the dividend. It's the preference shareholders.
1 second. 1 second. No. 1 second. Wait. What is the difference between ordinary and preference shares?
Ordinary shares are normal shares, which are normal kind of shares which any individual can buy, and preference shares are shares which get a preference in getting the dividend from the issuer, and which gets preference while settling the shares when the company is diluted or the firm is diluted.
Okay. And what is the difference between ordinary and preference shares from the point of view of voting rights?
Preference shareholders get a voting right. Ordinary shareholders doesn't get a chance for a voting right.
Ordinary shareholders don't get voting right.
No.
What do you mean by ADR?
American Depository Receipt.
What are ADR? I don't ask you full form.
American Depository Receipts are an Indian institution or a firm wants to issue a depository receipt in USA in US currency, so that is dollars. For issuing ADR, the Indian firm approaches the SEC, which is in New York, for compliance, and they request the consent to the Indian firm also for issuing a deposit receipt in USA. Okay. After that, the shares are transferred to the US.
No. What are you saying? I don't understand. What are the different levels of ADR?
Sponsored ADR and unsponsored ADR.
Those are the types. I'm asking what are the levels?
Levels mean what is? Sorry, I didn't get you.
You will have to work out a lot. You'll have to work a lot. Otherwise, you'll be working with that scheduled bank only. Because you will have to work a lot. What are the different types of money market products?
Bonds.
No. Bond is not a money market product. Certificate of deposits.
Pardon, sir?
Certificate of deposits.
Oh, sorry. Certificate of deposits, commercial papers, T-bills, repos, interbank lending.
Okay. How are treasury bills issued?
Treasury bills issued.
How, I'm asking you, how are they issued?
Treasury bills are issued via auction process.
Okay. Who are the participants in auction?
Competitive bidders and non-competitive bidders.
Okay. And how does the auction process go?
There are two types of auctions. Competitive bidders quote their price. Competitive bidders quote their offers in yield percentage, and Treasury allows the T-bills to bidders in ascending order of yields. And the second, non-competitive bidders pay average yield to the competitive bidders. Sorry, sir,
Okay. How are commercial papers issued?
Commercial paper is issued at discount and is redeemable at par.
How are they issued? That is the issuance style that you told me.
Okay.
What do you mean by junk bonds?
Junk bonds are bonds which do not have much security and which are hoarded, which are given at a higher interest rate.
Okay. What do you mean by perpetual bonds? What are perpetual bonds? What are zero coupon bonds?
Zero coupon bonds are bonds which doesn't have face value.
They don't have face value.
No, it has face value, but it's issued at a discounted price. A discounted price and redeemable at par. These bonds are issued in face value and is redeemable at face value.
Okay. What do you mean by securitization?
Securitization is the process of securitizing a company's shares or shares into bonds or debentures.
Okay. What is relationship between interest rates and bond price?
When interest rates goes up, bond price goes down inverse.
Why it goes down?
When interest rates gets high, the interest rates of the bond goes up, which is an opposite of the shares.
No, I'm saying if interest rate goes up, why do bond price go down?
Because there's inflation in the market.
Because
there is inflation in the market.
No. Interest rate goes down, bond price goes up. Why bond price goes up? Or interest rate goes up. If interest rate goes up, bond price goes down. Why bond price goes down? It was a very stupid answer. Interest rates are high in the market because there's inflation. When there's an inflation, interest rates are down.
I am talking about like the deposit interest rates.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If interest rate goes up, bond price goes down. Why it goes down? And first of all, we are talking about market interest rate. In fixed income chapter, we don't talk about deposit rates. We talk about market interest rates. What do you mean by direct quote?
Codes which are directly given, like
direct quote is a code which is directly given. Very good.
No, sorry, sir.
What do you mean by direct quote?
Can you give me a chance to attend it tomorrow?
No. Nobody has time. This was informed well in advance. I don't know if you were attending the classes.
Yes, sir, I'm attending. We have actually, sorry for that, what I'm saying. It's a very tight work schedule. I have to work in the holidays also.
Well, sorry?
I have to work in the holidays also in my office right now. It's a very bad work schedule.
That is the same story everywhere. Now we have to manage things.
Yes, sir.
On this excuse, you will say that take my marks again. That would not be possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me, what do you mean by direct quote?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. What do you mean by FX sell?
Pardon?
What do you mean by FX sell? FX sell.
Foreign the FX cells are used between. So sorry, FX cell is a method used by firms with the market.
No,
By
no, no.
okay.
No, no, no. What do you mean by non-deliverable forward?
The real forwards are foreign currencies which are not settled, which are cash settled, which are not settled in foreign currencies. The currencies or the forwards are settled in cash.
Sorry, say it again. What are you saying? I am not understanding.
Yeah. The real forwards are forwards which are settled in cash. They are not settled by physical foreign currencies.
Okay. After that?
That's it.
What do you mean by CDS?
Sorry.
What do you mean by IRS?
Interest rate swap.
What do you mean by IRS? Interest
rate swap. Yes. Interest rate swaps are which are used by two firms, say ICC or HDFC, in which they accept funds for and they swap their interest rates. ICC proposes a rate to HDFC Bank, say LIBOR plus 2%, and HDFC proposes a rate of say 4%. HDFC is that the LIBOR rate will go up and it will get more returns, and ICC predicts that the LIBOR rate will go down and it will get more returns. Interest rate swaps are done between two firms for hedging and speculation.
No, not a very clear answer. You have taken a sell future contract, and the price when you took the contract was 1500. The next day price went to 1550.
Okay.
What was the mark to market P&L?
Say lot size.
Any lot, don't assume lot size. When you took the contract, spot was 1500. Next day price went to 1550. You have taken a sell future. What is mark to market P&L?
50 loss.
Huh?
50 loss.
Okay. You have taken a put option. Your strike price was 2400. You have taken a put option. Your strike price was 2400. At the expiry, the price went to 2200.
Okay.
And 10 rupees was premium.
Okay.
What is the moneyness of the option?
Okay.
What is the moneyness of the option?
In the money. Sorry. Yes, in the money.
Okay. Okay. You can go. You can send Ankit.
Okay.
The rest you have to work on fixed income. You have to work on FX a lot. Cash equity a lot. You have to work on swaps as well.
Yes, sir. All. Thank you, sir.
With this performance, you will not get a good job. You will get any residual job. You will get any residual job.
No, sir. I'll
out of all the opportunities, good opportunities will go. Whatever will be left, you will get.
No, sir. I'll work hard and I'll prove it. Sorry for this. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. I cannot see you.
Okay. Just a minute. Yes, sir. Can you see me?
हाँ, कैमरा टेढ़ा है.
कैमरा टेढ़ा है. ऐसे देखना पड़ेगा क्या?
हाँ हाँ.
अच्छा वो फोन में ज्वाइन कर लिया था क्योंकि लैपटॉप काम नहीं कर रहा था.
Just a second.
Yes.
हाँ चौक. Okay. How many pillars are there in financial system?
4.
What are those? Do you attend classes regularly?
Sir, not regularly.
Okay.
Yes, because of my working hours, so I'm not able to attend regularly, sir.
What are the pillars? What are the 4 pillars of financial system?
I'm getting some.
What is difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
Order-driven market and code-driven market.
Yeah. What is difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
I didn't get, sorry.
There are 2 different types of market mechanism: order-driven market and code-driven market. What is difference between both of them?
Sir, I don't know this.
What are the objectives of secondary market? What are the 2 different markets in primary market? What are the 2 markets in primary markets?
Sorry, sir, I don't know this. Sorry.
What is difference between ordinary shares and preference shares?
Preference shares are like given the preferential rights first, and ordinary shares are normal shares. It's like preference shares has the it's having more priority on the share basis compared to ordinary shares.
What is difference between preference shares and ordinary shares from the point of view of voting rights?
Preferential shares have like more voting powers than ordinary shares.
No. Preference shares don't have voting rights. आपको ये सिखाया गया क्या? एक बार बुक खोल के देखो. You were there in the cash equity lecture, right?
Yes, sir.
Preference shares को voting rights होते हैं क्या? MRT के नोट्स में देखो क्या लिखा है.
The advantages of preferences में voting rights लिखा हुआ. Advantages of preference shares: preferential rights, fixed income, voting rights.
प्रेफरेंशियल राइट्स, वोटिंग राइट्स,
वोटिंग राइट्स भी है लेकिन
हाँ
वोटिंग राइट्स भी दिखा है सर।
नहीं, मुझे नहीं लगता
सर
ऐसा सिखाया होगा आपको।
ये एडवांटेजेस ऑफ प्रेफरेंसेस में लिखा है जैसे सब क्लास में था। प्रेफरेंशियल राइट्स फर्स्ट, सेकंड है फिक्स इनकम, थर्ड है वोटिंग राइट्स।
वोटिंग राइट्स नहीं
एडवांटेजेस
होते प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को। गूगल करो, डू प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स हैव वोटिंग राइट, खाली इतना गूगल करो।
जस्ट सर अगर आप ये जो मेरा नोट्स है तो जब सर आई थिंक सिद्धार्थ सर ने ये पढ़ाया था ना, तो उस समय मैं ये लिखा था।
मुझे नहीं पता, बट ये बहुत ही कॉमन चीज है, तो ग्रेजुएशन में भी था आपको।
हाँ करेक्ट सर, वो तो था, ग्रेजुएशन में तो था।
गूगल करो, गूगल, डू
हाँ सर वही
प्रेफरेंस
कर रहा।
शेयर्स होल्डर्स हैव वोटिंग राइट।
यस सर, एक मिनट फोन में करता हूँ सर। Do preference shares have so voting rights in a company are one of the basic differences. Preference shareholders have no rights to cast a vote in the matters of the company.
क्या लिखा है? ठीक है,
Yes, sir,
देखो, मैं अगर कंटिन्यू करूंगा इंटरव्यू तो शायद मैं बहुत कम मार्क्स दूंगा, 0 दे दूंगा।
हाँ हाँ।
और मुझे नहीं पता कि रीमॉक कब होगा। रीमॉक के लिए आपको बार बार फॉलो अप करना पड़ेगा उत्कर्षा से।
समझ गया सर, मैं समझ गया।
आप बताओ क्या करना है, कंटिन्यू करना है कि रीमॉक देना है?
सर बेटर रिमूव दिया क्योंकि मैं वर्किंग आवर्स के चलते मैं आई थिंक कॉप अप नहीं
वो
कर पाया था।
एक्सक्यूज है, वो एक्सक्यूज है मेरे दोस्त।
नहीं सर, नहीं सर।
आपको मैनेज करना है, वो आप मैनेज आपको करना है, मैं तो मैनेज नहीं कर सकता ना। अगर मैं
करेक्ट है
मेरा
सर।
स्केड्यूल आपको बताऊंगा आप परेशान हो जाओगे।
नहीं हुआ सर, मैं तो समझ रहा हूँ सर।
तो फिर वो मैनेज करना होता है हर एक चीज, तो देखो आप कैसे मैनेज करना है। तो मैं यहाँ
ठीक
पे
है
आपके
सर,
लिए
मैं
रिमॉक।
रिमॉक के लिए रेडी हूँ सर। मैं बेटर प्रिपेयर कर लूंगा पूरा बेटर सब चीज। ओके।
ठीक है, अश्विनी जगताप को भेजो।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
हेलो, आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी यू। मुझे पूरी लाइट दिख रही है, मुझे आपकी शक्ल नहीं दिख रही है। आप म्यूट पे हो। हेलो, आप म्यूट पे हो। ऐसे सीधा रख नहीं सकते हो मोबाइल को, कहीं कि हाथ में पकड़ के रहना पड़ेगा?
सर हाथ में ही रखना पड़ेगा।
ठीक है, बट लाइव इंटरव्यू में ऐसे ना किया तो थोड़ा अच्छा ही रहेगा। लाइव इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे थोड़ा कुछ एडजस्टमेंट कर लेना। रखने का कहीं पे, ठीक है?
ओके सर।
हाँ,
सर
डू यू अटेंड?
1 मिनट होल्ड करोगे क्या? मैं ये कनेक्ट कर रही हूँ ब्लूटूथ।
हाँ ठीक है।
ओके सर। हेलो सर, अभी
हाँ
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ, मेरे को आ रही है।
ओके सर, ओके। गुड
मेरी आ रही है
इवनिंग
आपको?
सर।
हाँ,
हाँ हाँ, गुड इवनिंग सर।
दोनों कानों में डाल दो ना। ठीक है ना, बेटर है ना?
हाँ हाँ सर, बेटर है, बेटर है।
ठीक है। डू यू अटेंड क्लासेस रेगुलरली?
ये सर सिर्फ फर्स्ट, थर्ड और फिफ्थ को अटेंड नहीं कर पाती क्योंकि जॉब ऑफिस में रहती हूँ इसलिए। बाकी डेज अटेंड करती हूँ।
ठीक है। Okay. How many pillars are there in financial system?
So there are four pillars in financial system: financial market, financial participants, financial services, and regulatories.
Financial markets. दूसरा?
Financial participants, फिर
हाँ.
products और services.
You have to talk in English.
Sorry. So there are four participants. There are four participants. In financial. There are four pillars in financial market. They are
Financial
financial
system.
product,
Financial
financial
system.
system.
हाँ.
Yeah,
हाँ ठीक है, I got it.
finance.
So, can you name some financial participants?
So participants are brokers, HNI customers, then insurance companies, custodians, retailers.
Okay. Who
Hello.
are custodians?
Sir, custodians are those who held the securities in electronical form.
No.
Who
Custodians
save,
are
so,
who?
sorry, who safeguards the securities.
Okay. And who are repositories?
Repositories. Sir, I don't know that. I'll get back.
Okay. What is difference between order-driven market and code-driven market?
Order driven market and code driven market. Okay. Sir, in order driven market, there is a transparency, and in code driven market, there is less transparency as compared to order driven market. Order driven market is has less risk, and code driven market has risk in it as compared to order driven market.
Okay. Which market has more liquidity?
uh, Order driven market has more liquidity as compared to code driven market.
Okay. What is difference between direct finance and indirect finance?
Direct finance is the finance where investors or the retail or the customers directly invest in securities, and indirect finance is the one in which we have to go through some intermediaries. For example, if I want to invest in indirect finance, then I have to go through mutual funds or I have to invest in mutual funds, and then through that process I can do this.
Okay. What are objectives of secondary market?
Objectives of secondary market. Objectives of secondary market are to raise funds for the
No,
expansion.
no. Funds are raised in primary market. I'm asking you what are the objectives of secondary market?
The objectives may be how to utilize that funds, the utilization of the funds for in various performance of the company.
No, no, no. Tell me, what are the rights of ordinary shares?
Ordinary shareholders, sir.
Yeah, what are the rights of ordinary shares?
Ordinary shareholders have the right. Ordinary shareholders are the part owners of the company. They have the right on the dividend. They do not have. They do not have. Sorry, they have the right of voting. They have voting rights. They
Okay,
have rights on dividend.
okay. What are the objectives of secondary market?
Sir, objectives I'm not getting right now actually.
Okay. What is difference between ordinary shares and preference shares?
Sir, ordinary preference shareholders. Ordinary preference shareholders are the holders which have preferential right. That is, they have the right. They have the right. First right on everything that is from dividend and dividend. And in after the liquidation of the company, also they get first preference for their preference for the dividend, while in ordinary shareholders, they get the secondary right over the dividend after the liquidation of the company. They in preference shareholders have the right of voting rights, but related to themselves only. But in ordinary shareholders, they have the right. They have the voting right related to the company's development.
Hmm. Okay. What do you mean by ADR?
ADR is American Depository Receipts. When an Indian company wants to invest in some in a
Invest.
foreign
Invest.
sir,
When an Indian company wants to invest.
Indian company when Indian company wants to raise funds from the foreign company, they provide ADR.
No. How many types of ADR are there?
Sir, sponsored and unsponsored. But in ADR, the Indian company who wants to issue the securities to foreign companies, then the process is like that. The Indian company issues the issues the securities to the custodians. Then the custodians, domestic custodians, then that custodians uh, 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 do the further processes over the overseas depositories. Then in the overseas depositories, they issue the ADR. That is, the securities are listed there, and they issued a ADR, which is provided to the customers or the persons, or the persons who wants to invest in securities. Then they are given that acknowledgement. Therefore, ADR is an acknowledgement given. Hello. Hello.
Just wait, wait, wait. What do you mean by unsponsored ADR?
सर मुझे उतना डिटेल में मतलब पता नहीं है सर, मुझे सिर्फ टाइप्स पता है, डिटेल में अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है।
This is not the answer ना you should give.
ये सर एक्चुअली अभी थोड़ा नर्वस हो गई, इससे वो याद नहीं आ रहा है।
What are different money market products?
Money market products are commercial papers, T-bills, then interbank lending, certificate of deposits, and repo agreements.
Okay. How are commercial papers issued?
Commercial papers are issued by the corporates.
I'm saying how. I did not ask you who issues.
Okay. Sir, commercial papers are issued at discount and redeem at par.
That is the issuance style. How are they issued? How? They are issued through private placement.
Yes. They are issued.
How are treasury bills issued?
Sir, treasury bills are issued through auction process.
Okay. What is the auction process?
Sir, in auction process there are two types, that is competitive bidder process and non-competitive bidder process. In competitive bidder process, the quotation is done on the yield, interest on the yield given, or the interest on the yields, and in and those that is given from lowest to the highest yield in bidder competitive, and in non-bidding competitive the bills are issued
Go on.
There is no bidding process in non-competitive bidders. All the treasury bills are accepted. The treasurer accepts all the applications.
You will have to work a lot. Okay. What are different types of bonds?
Redeemable, convertible, non-convertible, participating, non-participating, cumulative and non-cumulative.
I'm telling you what are the different types of bonds. You're telling me preference shares.
Sorry. Bonds, there are two bonds. Bonds are issued by government and issued by companies. There are Kaushik government bonds, agency bonds, then supranational bond, then perpetual bonds, junk bonds, zero coupon bonds, euro bonds, junk bonds, deferral bonds, inflation index bonds, domestic bonds, foreign bonds.
What do you mean by junk bonds?
Junk bonds are the bonds who have low credit ratings. Therefore, the interest paid in these bonds is also the risk in these bonds is high, and therefore the interest paid to this bond is also high.
Sorry, say it again.
Junk bonds are the bonds which have low or poor credit rating. Therefore, the risk in this bond is high, and therefore the interest paid for this is also high to compensate that risk.
Okay. What is relationship between interest rate and yield?
Interest rate, yield, and bond, sir.
What is relationship between interest rates and yield?
If interest rate goes up and bond if interest rate goes up and bond price goes down, then yield is high, and vice versa. If interest rate is
See,
low,
you should listen to me carefully. I'm telling you what is relationship between interest rate and yield. Why are you bringing bond price in between? I'm telling you what is relationship between interest rate and yield.
Okay, no?
Getting it?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is relationship? Achha, what is relationship between interest rate and bond price?
Sir,
Interest rate and bond price. Go ahead.
Interest rate is high,
Goes up.
then bond price goes down. And
Why?
then
Why? If interest rate goes up, why bond price goes down?
सर क्या सुनाई नहीं दिया?
You said if interest rate goes up, bond price goes down. I am saying why? Why does that happen?
Sir, because when bond price when bond price goes down, that is then the interest earned on it is more. Therefore, if bond price goes down, then interest rate is grows.
What are you saying? Do you even know?
I don't have that idea now.
What do you mean by securitization?
So securitization is a process where an illiquid form of asset is converted into securities. This process is done through a special vehicle unit. This vehicle unit consolidates all the illiquid assets, and converts them into the securities in the market. And after converting them into securities, it encashes that, and all the cash that is makes it liquid, and that liquidity is flown to the bank. In securitization process, the um, bank gets the liquidity to for further use, bank use.
Okay. What do you mean by direct quote?
Sorry. Direct quote. In direct quote, the currency of one.
What do you mean by direct quote? बोलो ना.
सर वो एग्जैक्ट वर्ड याद नहीं आ रहा है अभी. In direct code the one currency is
What do you mean by NDF?
what's the NDF? Hello.
Yeah, what do you mean by NDF?
नहीं पता सर NDF.
What do you mean by credit default swap?
Sir, in credit default swap, the buyer has to pay the premium, and in that he and in exchange of that he gets the uh, uh, protection from the seller.
How is CDS settled?
CDS settled. The CDS is settled by two ways: by physical method and cash method, cash settlement and physical settlement.
Okay. What do you mean by physical settlement?
Sir, in physical settlement, the
What do you mean by interest rate swap?
IRS interest rate swap, there are the interest is payable. There are two legs in it. That is, leg one is fixed or maybe variable, and leg two is sorry. In first it is leg one is fixed, or in first scenario there is plain vanilla, and second one is in leg
What do
one.
you mean by in the money option?
In the money option, that is in call option, uh, in that spot price is greater than the break even point, and in put option, spot price is less than break even point.
Sorry, call option means spot price is?
Spot price is greater than break even point, and in put option, spot price is less than break even point.
Okay. ठीक है, see, you have to work a lot in FX and fixed income.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You can go.
Okay, sir.
Okay, don't put on the group. I will ask them to join after 10 minutes.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
I can't hear you well. Hello.
One second.
सर अभी आ रही है आपको आवाज?
Not very well. ठीक है, बट थोड़ी सी मोटी आ रही है.
सर अभी ईयरफोन लगे हैं, अभी आनी चाहिए क्लियर.
नहीं आ रही है. ठीक है. ओके. आप रेगुलरली करते हो अटेंड क्लास?
हाँ सर, ऑनलाइन अटेंड कर रहा हूँ मैं.
रोज?
हाँ सर, एक मिस हुई है मेरी सैटरडे को ऑफिस की वजह से.
ठीक है. टेल मी व्हाट आर द 4 pillars of financial system?
Financial market, financial
हाँ.
product, financial
हाँ.
participants, and financial services.
Okay. Well, how many markets are there in financial markets?
Sir, capital market and money market.
Which one is long term?
So, capital market is long term, money market is short term.
Okay. How many markets are there in capital market?
Sir, primary and secondary.
Okay. What is difference between order driven and code driven?
सर मनी मार्केट के अंदर नहीं, प्राइमरी सेकेंडरी वो कैपिटल मार्केट के अंदर है. सॉरी.
Yeah, sorry. What is difference between order driven market and code driven market?
सर ऑर्डर ड्रिवन में प्राइस बायर सेलर को पता होता है, कोड ड्रिवन के अंदर वो ओटीसी मार्केट में रहता है.
हिंदी में नहीं बोलना है ना.
एंड ओके सर, द प्राइस like the buyer knows the price, the buyer and seller knows the price in order driven market, and in code driven market it is really on OTC market.
No.
So
I'm not able to hear
like
you. I'm not able to hear. Your connection is going. Hello.
Sir, hello sir, am I audible?
Not very well. अभी आ रही है. ठीक है.
Once again.
Yeah, tell me again. What is difference between order driven and code driven?
Sir, in order driven market, the buyer and seller knows the price. The price clarity is there, and in code driven market, it is traded on over the counter. So the price clarity is not there.
Okay. What are the other difference in order driven and code driven?
So order driven. So order driven is like electronically traded.
Okay.
And code driven is like it takes a longer time. So
which
like,
market has higher liquidity?
So order driven.
Okay. Which market has more transparency?
Order driven.
Okay. What is the difference between direct and indirect source of finance?
So direct is like primary market where we buy and sell shares, and then secondary is like where like through mutual funds. So if you purchase through mutual fund, it is indirectly like we are indirectly buying.
Okay. Just a second. Okay.
Yes.
What are the 4 pillars of financial system?
4 pillars are financial markets, financial services, So the financial market, financial participant, financial product, and financial services.
Okay. Can you name some financial participants?
Financial HNI, retail, institutional, mutual funds, and hedge funds. And there are like trustees, temples.
Okay.
There are a few more. 1 second.
Okay. What do you mean by custodian?
Custodian, where like custodian is CDSL and NSDL, so where shares are stored.
No.
So custodian, the main job of custodian is to safeguard the financial markets.
Financial markets, to safeguard the financial markets.
So to safeguard securities. To safeguard the
what is difference between ordinary shares and preference shares?
Ordinary shares are equity shares, or we can call it shares, stocks, and preferential shares are given preferential values over the ordinary shares. So there are 8 different types of preferential shares.
What preference do preference shares get?
They get like a fixed dividend, they have fixed dividend, and they have fixed maturity.
Okay.
And there are 8 different types of preferential shares. So cumulative, non-cumulative, participant, non-participant.
Participating,
non-participating.
What do you mean by participating?
Participating where the dividend, 1 second, where the dividend is paid, no, that is cumulative. 1 second, sir. They have voting rights, sir.
No.
I don't know, sir. I can't recall.
What do you mean by ADR?
ADR is American Depository Receipts. So like depository receipts is a negotiable instrument through which we can purchase stocks of other stock exchanges through the negotiable instrument. So it is called American Depository Receipt. So even like if you...
Who issues ADR?
ADR issued by depositories, sir.
Okay. How many different types of ADR are there?
There are 2 types of ADR. One is secured and no, 1 second. There are 2 types of ADR. I can't recall the names. Sir.
How are commercial papers issued?
Commercial papers are issued by corporates.
How I'm saying, how are they issued? You are saying who issued?
Through Dutch auction process.
No. How are treasury bills issued?
These are issued by government. These are issued by
Dutch auction process. I asked you how. Yeah. So commercial papers are also issued through Dutch auction. Treasury bills are also issued through Dutch auction.
Treasury bills are issued through Dutch auction. Commercial papers are issued by corporates.
How are they issued? Yeah.
No, sir, I don't know.
How many different types of interbank lending are there?
Interbank lending. There are notice money. There are 3, 4, 1 second, notice money and...
What is the difference between notice money and term money?
Difference between notice money and
term money.
Sir, for notice money, when the lender issues a notice, at that time the counterparty has to pay. And term is like a fixed term is decided. Then it is a shorter. It is for shorter term. Also, over the night is another type of interbank
Over the
lending.
night or overnight? you mean?
Overnight money.
Okay. What are certificates of deposits?
Certificates of deposits.
What do you mean by junk bonds?
Which are negatively rated. The rating is lesser. Generally triple A minus. Sorry, triple C minus, triple B minus. They have the lowest rating of bonds.
Okay. What do you mean by inflation index bond?
These are like inflation adjusted bonds. So the inflation rate is 6%, then the return will be in inflation plus the interest rate. Inflation rate plus the bond interest rate. So they are adjusted through like inflation.
Okay. What is relationship between interest rate and bond price?
If the interest rate bond price rate goes down, inverse relationship.
Okay. What is relationship between interest rate and yield?
Interest rate and direct relationship. Interest rate goes high, interest rate goes high, then yield also goes high. They're directly proportional.
Okay. What is accrued interest?
The interest rate is accrued but not yet paid.
What are the different ways of calculating accrued interest?
There are 4 types. One is actual with 360, then 30 by 360, 30 by 365, and actual by actual.
What does 30 by 360 assumes?
What does
30 by 360 assumes?
So they divided it by 12, so they counted 30 days in a month.
Okay, and
so 30 by 360 is like they divided by 12 generally. So they counted.
What are you saying? What are the assumption in 30 by 360?
Every month has 30 days.
Okay, and every
year has 360 days.
Okay. What do you mean by securitization?
Securitization is a process of converting illiquid assets into securities.
Okay.
This is done by SDV, security.
The securitization converting illiquid assets into securities. That's it?
No, it is a process. So like it is done by special purpose vehicle. It is the process is called. It is done by special purpose vehicle (SPV).
Okay.
So to maintain the liquidity and to remove the risk of the financial.
What do you mean by direct quote?
Direct quote into forex market is like if $1 goes to 70 rupees, then it is a direct quote.
What do you mean by that? Is an example of direct quote. What does direct quote gives us?
Into domestic currency.
Sorry?
It is done into domestic currency.
No. What is done into domestic currency? You are saying it is done into domestic currency. What is done? What is it?
The exchange.
No. Direct quote is not this. The answer of direct quote is not this.
Direct quote is is quoting $1,000. No, sorry. I know the examples. I can remember the definition.
Direct quote gives us price of foreign currency.
Price of foreign currency.
Right?
Yes.
What do you mean by NDF?
NDF.
What do you mean by NDF?
No, sir, I don't know.
What do you mean by credit default swap?
Credit default swaps are between interest rates.
Credit default swaps are swapped between interest rates.
I don't know.
Okay. What do you mean by moneyness of an option?
There are three types: in the money, at the money, and out of the money. So
When is call option in the money?
The break-even price when break-even price is more than the spot price.
Break-even price is more than spot price.
So if the spot price is 1,500, break-even price is 1,700, it is in.
Sorry. When is call option in the money? When?
The price is 1,500, for example, and spot price is 1,500 and break-even price is 1,600. Then it is out of the money.
I'm asking you in the money.
Sorry, then yes. It is in the money. Sorry, it is in the money.
No, wrong answer. I have taken a sell future contract. Okay. The price of security when I took the contract was 1742.
Okay.
The next day price went to 1745.
From 1742 to 1745.
Yes. And I have taken a sell future. Yes. What is the mark to market P&L?
So 3 rupees loss.
3 rupees?
Loss.
Okay. Okay. You can go, but you need a lot of preparation in cash equity, FX, derivatives. Like overall, it's an average. You might get a job, you might not get a job.
Yes, sir, I will prepare.
Yes. Okay. You can ask Munali to join.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. Yes, sir.
Hi.
Pranali here.
I'm not able to see you.
Sir.
Very well.
Now it is okay.
हाँ. ठीक है.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am
okay.
quite scared. I'm quite scared. Hello.
हाँ. Yeah, tell me what are the pillars of financial system?
So pillars of financial system is money market, uh, capital market, uh, currency exchange, uh,
What are the pillars of finance? One, just a second, wait.
hello.
Wait, give me 1 minute, wait. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are the 4 pillars of financial system?
4 pillars of financial system. Sir, capital market
No.
is sir. Is it right?
No.
Sir, financial institution.
No.
मैं भूल गई एक्चुअली मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है
क्या करें फिर?
सर एक 5-10 मिनट में दूं क्या मैं
नहीं ना.
सर प्राइमरी
What?
मार्केट सेकेंडरी मार्केट
No. They all come under financial markets. So
ओके
financial market is a pillar.
pillars of financial
Financial
market
market. Pillars of financial system. So financial market, financial product, financial participant, financial services.
sorry sir
Okay, how many markets are there in financial market?
sir money market
Okay.
capital market
Okay. How many
capital
markets are
market
there in capital market? How
sir
many
2
markets? Okay. Which are those?
primary and secondary
Okay. Primary and secondary. Which market is used for raising money?
sorry capital market and financial market that both are sorry
No. What are you saying? Financial market has 2 markets, capital market and money market. What are the 2 markets in capital market? Primary and secondary. Which market is used for raising money? Which market is used for raising funds?
secondary market which is used for raising funds
So BSc NSC funds यूज करने के लिए रेज होता है, फंड्स रेज करने के लिए यूज होता है, या BSc NSC फंड्स जो सिक्योरिटीज इशू की वो ट्रेड करने के लिए यूज होता है?
सर BSc NSC दोनों में फंड्स रेज करते हैं हम
फंड्स रेज करते हैं.
हाँ मतलब it
मतलब
is for
LIC को पैसा चाहिए तो BSE NSE से रेस करेगा कि पहला प्राइमरी मार्केट में फंड्स रेस करेगा, फिर BSE NSE पे शेयर ट्रेड होगा।
so sorry sir, प्राइमरी मार्केट में फंड रेस करेगा एंड
देखो
सेकेंडरी मार्केट में ट्रेड करेगा।
अगर हम लोग अभी कंटिन्यू करेंगे तो मैं हेल्प नहीं करूंगा, मैं उसके अकॉर्डिंगली मार्क्स दूंगा आपको, ठीक है। अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आप प्रिपेयर्ड नहीं हो तो आप रिमॉक दे दो।
सर रिबुक दे दीजिए ना मुझे प्लीज।
तो रिमॉक
तो
जब भी
कब
होएगा
रहेगा?
तभी होएगा, जब भी होगा तभी होगा वो। बार बार मत बोलना रिमॉक कब होगा, रिमॉक कब होगा। जब भी टाइम होगा मेरे को या किसी और फैकल्टी को, तभी होगा।
तो मतलब थर्ड लेवल के पहले होगा कि
हाँ
बाद
पहले ही
में
होगा,
होगा?
थर्ड लेवल के सेकंड लेवल के पहले ही होगा, बट डिपेंड अभी कभी है फैकल्टी को टाइम, या वीक डे में हो रहा है, वीकेंड में हो रहा है, जब भी रहेगा बताया जाएगा आपको।
चलेगा सर, एक्चुअली ना मैं थोड़ा प्रिपेयर ही नहीं थी, मतलब प्रिपेयर ऊपर मुझे ना कंफ्यूजन बहुत ज्यादा हो गया सर।
ओके, यू कैन गो। मैसेज कर दो ग्रुप पे प्रियंका को ज्वाइन करने के लिए।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
हेलो।
हाँ सर, ज्वाइन किया।
बट आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी यू
नाउ
हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है। So tell me, what are the 4 pillars of financial system?
financial market, financial product, financial participants, and financial service and regulators.
Okay, very good. What are how many markets are there in financial markets?
Financial market में capital market, money market. Capital market is again divided into two, that is debt and equity. और money market में treasury bills, certificate of deposit, commercial papers, T-bills, वो सब आएगा.
English.
Okay.
And what are 2 different markets in capital market?
Short term, just a moment. In capital market, right? Primary and secondary.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
And could you name some participants?
For the primary or secondary?
Participants are participants. Could you name some financial participants?
Yes. So financial participants include the individual, retail individual, then commercial bank, retail banking, investment banks, high net worth individuals, and then governments, mutual fund, hedge funds, pension fund, corporates, etc.
Okay. What do you mean by custodian?
Custodian is an institution who safeguard the assets or securities of the customers.
Clients.
Client.
Okay. And what is difference between order driven market and code driven market?
So order driven market, there is a transparency in the order driven market, so everyone can view the order book. Whoever are the participants in the order driven market, they all can view the order book, so there is a higher transparency. The risk is lower. And in the code driven market, the price is decided by the market maker. That is, they simultaneously they quote the bid and ask price, and the transparency is less, as it is done on OTC market, and the chances of risk is higher. That's it.
Okay, very good. What is difference between direct finance and indirect financing?
Okay, so direct finance include, suppose if I am a customer, so I can directly finance in the securities. So while taking the decision of, if I want to buy or sell the security, I am the sole decider. I can decide whether I want to buy or sell. Everything depends on me. But in indirect, first individuals invest into the mutual fund, and then mutual fund invest into the securities. So buying and selling decision is taken by the mutual fund manager. That is the difference. That's it.
What are the objectives of secondary market?
So objectives of the secondary market is, first of all, it is a liquidity. It provide a platform for issuers to, as it provide the platform for investors to invest and borrowers to borrow the money. Whoever has excess or surplus amount of profit, they invest in the securities, and then whichever company or corporate are in needs, they get those funds, so they can utilize in expansion or diversification of the business. So that's where there is a liquidity in the market. Price discovery, as the individuals invest in the market. So sometimes it's if there is a more buying in some of the stocks, so that if there is a more buying in some stocks, then price goes up. It is decided by the market according to demand and supply, and there is a reduction in the transaction cost. So if suppose I am investor, I can directly invest. I can directly buy and sell. There is no cost. There is no cost for me to invest, and there is a reduction in transaction cost. And also there are the chances that there cannot be any fraudulent activities, as we have SEBI and other and many more regulatory rules and principles and guidelines, etc.
What are fundamental rights of ordinary shares?
Fundamental right of ordinary shares. Okay, so they are, first of all, they are the owners of the company, so they get the voting rights so they get the voting rights, and they can participate in the surplus profits of the company. And at the time of the liquidation, they are the last one who gets the money. Before they get the money, we have other bondholders, shareholder, preference shareholders, and etc. So, equity.
What are difference between ordinary shares and preference shares.
Yeah, so ordinary shares do have the voting right. Preference shares do not have the voting right, except in the participating preference shareholder. And ordinary share in equity shareholders get the dividend. So dividend amount may fluctuate. I mean, it's not same all the time, but in the preference shareholder, there is a fixed dividend. Only except in the case of participating preference shares, they can enjoy the surplus profits of the company. Equity shareholders have the voting right. Preference shareholders have the voting right only in the matter concerning only where matter concerning for them. That's it.
Okay. What do you mean by ADR?
So ADR is the American Depository Receipt. It is issued by the deposit. It is issued by the foreign depository. So for example,
it is issued by the foreign depository, or it is issued by the depository of America?
So ADR is the American Depository Receipt, and it is issued by the depository or the custodian of the foreign country. I mean, American Depository.
Okay.
Yeah. So it allows the other countries to invest there in the US market. So even the US residents, I mean, they can always invest in the US market or US company. But if there is a ADR, so they also can diversify their portfolio and they can invest in other companies which is non-US company.
Okay.
That's it.
How many types of ADR are there?
Sponsored ADR and unsponsored ADR. So in sponsored ADR, we required, I mean, there are some legal formalities and everything. Everything works legally, but in unsponsored ADR, it is done on OTC and it does not require any legal formalities or something.
No. Say it again. What is sponsored ADR?
So sponsored ADR, there will require the approvals and everything. Everything is done legally. But for unsponsored ADR, there is no legal formalities required. It is just done on the demand and it is done on the OTC market.
And how many levels are there in sponsored ADR?
There are 3 levels. One is minimum. There are 3 levels. First is very less compliance, and second is minimum compliance, and third is too much of compliance.
Too much of compliance or full compliance?
Fully compliance. That means fully compliance.
Too much of compliance.
So we have the minimum and then moderate and then fully compliance, right?
Okay. ये सब कहाँ से पढ़ा है आपने? कैसे पढ़ा है ये?
सर आपके नोट से पढ़ा था.
How are commercial papers issued? How?
How are commercial papers issued? Also, commercial paper is issued by the corporate. It is a negotiable instrument and it is issued by the corporate. It is issued at a discount and then it is redeemed at a par. It is done on the OTC market and they are issued via private placements.
Okay. How are treasury bills issued?
Treasury bill is a negotiable instrument and it is issued by the government. Again, it is same. It is issued at discount and redeemed at par. But in this case, we have it is issued via auction process, which is known as a Dutch auction.
Okay.
And in auction also we have 2 types, that is competitive bidder and non-competitive bidder. So in competitive bidder, we have the yield in the percentage. So treasury allots the T-bills to the bidders in the ascending order. So the latest, so in ascending order, the lowest of yield is decided by the treasury, and in the non-competitive bidder, the average of all the bids in the yield percentage is paid, which is decided by treasury.
What is the relationship between interest rate and bond price?
Yeah. So when interest rate goes up, bond price goes down, and when the bond price goes up, interest rates go down. So there is an inverse relation between them.
Okay,
Mm.
very good. What is accrued interest?
Accrued interest is an interest that person so interest which is earned by individual, but it is not received. And accrued interest, we can say as it is between the two payment date, two coupon payments date. So the duration between the two coupon payment date is known as the accrual period, and that is also known as accrued interest, because person has earned it but he has not received yet.
ये आपके नाम क्या पे 1329549 क्या लिखा रहता है?
सर वो मेरा एम्प्लॉय आईडी है.
इतना बड़ा?
हाँ सर, वो एक्चुअली रोज कॉल ज्वाइन करने रहते ना, तो उसमें कंपल्शन है रखना, तो इसके लिए.
मतलब रोज कॉल जो ऑफिस के कॉल्स?
हाँ, ऑफिस का कॉल जूम पे होता है ना, डेली टीम कॉल होते हैं. अभी वर्क फ्रॉम होम चालू है तो इसके लिए.
आप तो बैंक में जॉब करते हो ना?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आपको मैंने बताया था ना, टाटा में, टीसीएस में. आपने डे 1 को तो मुझे बोला था इतना बड़ा एम्प्लॉय आईडी है, कितने सारे एम्प्लॉय है.
Okay. What is securitization?
Securitization is a process of converting the illiquid asset into the security. It is done with the help of the SVP, which is special purpose vehicle, and it helps in the liquidity. It helps the bank in the liquidity, and also write off from their balance sheet. So whatever assets is reflecting, which they don't require in their book, so that is removed through the special purpose vehicle, and the SVP then bundle all the securities, then bundle all the loans or securities into one, and then it transfer that asset into the tradable security.
Okay. क्या ही पूछूं मैं आपको?
जो पूछना है सर.
What do you mean by CDS?
CDS, certificate of deposit, right?
Credit default swap.
अच्छा, credit default swap. So credit default
डेरिवेटिव में भी जीरो दे रहा हूँ आपको.
क्यों सर?
गलत आंसर दिया ना आपने.
अरे नहीं सर, मेरे को लगा, इसके लिए मैंने पहले कंफर्म कर लिया ना एक्सप्लेन करने से पहले. So in credit default,
it's okay. मतलब you can go, you can ask Kajal to join.
Okay.
It was very good. मतलब I cannot believe that ऐसा भी प्रिपरेशन हो सकता है किसी का.
सर ये सब आपकी दया और मेहरबानी. आप आने के बाद इतना, आप नहीं थे ना, आपको नहीं पता मेरी हालत इतनी खराब थी ना. मैं वो सर को इतना बोल बोल के थक गई थी कि सर, वो सर का भी पढ़ाना अच्छा था, बट उनका ना स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा था. मतलब जब तक उन्होंने आगे का सेंटेंस बोला और बाद में का बोला, तो मैं, मतलब वो इतना तेज पढ़ाते थे, वैसा हो जाता था. तो आपके आने के बाद देखो, सबसे जो मेन था डेरिवेटिव, सबसे फोकस करने बोला था डे 1 से सबने. तो वो आपने पढ़ा तो अच्छा हो गया. फॉरेन एक्सचेंज भी थोड़ा मुझे टफ लगता था, जो है नहीं बट मुझे लगता था, तो वो भी आपने ले लिया, तो थोड़ा इजी हो गया, बहुत ज्यादा ही मेरे लिए. और ऊपर से आपके नोट्स में वन लाइनर में इतना कुछ समझ में आ जाता है, और एग्जाम्पल तो बहुत अच्छा नोट्स था आपका, तो उससे सब अच्छा हो गया.
अच्छा, you have taken a sell future and the price when you took the contract was 1775 and you have taken sell future 1775. Next day the price became 1780. What is mark to market profit and loss? What is mark to market P&L?
Sir, so can I use the book and pen just to
write
yes,
right,
the amount?
right, yes, right.
सर आपने क्या बताया? सेल फ्यूचर ना?
You have taken a sell future contract, and when you took the contract, the spot price was 1775, and next day price became 1780. What is mark to market P&L? Profit है कि loss है?
एक ही सेकंड है सर, प्राइस बढ़ गया है तो मुझे लॉस हो रहा है।
कितना लॉस है?
लॉस है 5 रुपीज का।
Okay, you have taken a put option. ठीक है? And you are a short put holder.
शॉर्ट पुट होल्डर, ओके।
ठीक है? Strike price is 1980.
1980, ओके।
Strike price is 1980. Right? And premium is 20 rupees.
Okay.
And spot as on expiry is 2212.
2212, okay.
Yes. What is the P&L?
Okay. सर फोन यूज कर सकती हूँ कैलकुलेशन माइनस करने के लिए कि खुद से करना है?
आंसर है सिंपल, कैलकुलेटर की जरूरत ही नहीं है। मेरे को भी डेरिवेटिव में जीरो देना पड़ेगा।
नहीं सर, तो पुट ऑप्शन में मेरे को इतना पता है कि उसका फॉर्मूला ये है कि स्ट्राइक प्राइस माइनस प्रीमियम।
नहीं, आपने कहा आप कौन सा शॉर्ट पुट हो आप? व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट ऑफ शॉर्ट पुट?
मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट ऑफ द शॉर्ट पुट, एक मिनट, 20 रुपीज।
क्या है वो 20 रुपीज?
20 रुपीज, एक ही मिनट।
मैंने प्रीमियम कितना लिखवाया आपको?
प्रीमियम 20 रुपीज है मेरा।
हाँ तो मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट प्रीमियम है ना शॉर्ट पुट का?
हाँ 20 रुपीज ही होगा प्रॉफिट मेरा, 20 रुपीज का ही होगा।
ठीक है रिवाइज करो एक बार डेरिवेटिव एक बार, बट रेस्ट ऑल इट इज वेरी इंप्रेसिव। मतलब अगर ये रियल इंटरव्यू होता तो आई वुड हैव सेलेक्टेड यू।
थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है, यू कैन गो एंड आस्क काजल टू जॉइन।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
हेलो।
Good evening, sir.
हाय, गुड इवनिंग। I'm not able to see you.
Just can you
ये
see?
थोड़ा स्टेबल रख सकते हो क्या कैमरा?
Okay. Proper.
हाँ, much better. Okay, fine. Tell me, how many pillars are there in financial system?
So there are 4 pillars in financial market. Financial system.
Okay.
Financial market, financial products, financial participants, financial services, and regulation.
Okay. How many markets are there in financial markets?
Money market, forex market, derivative market, and
which is the biggest market?
Forex market.
No.
Because
that is okay, but from the financial market perspective, capital market.
From the point of
financial market, capital market, which is used for raising money, trading. वो तो बोला ही नहीं आपने. You said forex market, you said derivative market, money market. But what about capital market?
So equity market.
I'm telling you, you missed capital market.
Yes.
Okay, which is a long-term market?
Long-term is capital marketing.
1 second. There are 4 pillars in financial system: markets, participants, products, and services.
Yes.
What is the difference between primary market and secondary market?
Primary market, where the company issues a security for the first time through IPO, and secondary market, where the already listed securities are traded between the buyer and seller.
Okay. Can you name some financial participants?
Financial participants, custodian, depository, investors.
Who is custodian?
Bank, who safeguards the asset or securities.
Okay. And who are depositories?
Depository, who holds the securities in an electronic form.
Okay. What do you mean by repositories?
Depositories.
Repositories. R-E-P-O-S-I-T-O-R.
Repositories. Okay. Repositories, where they keep the data or information in an electronic form.
Okay. What is difference between order-driven and code-driven market?
So order-driven market is securities are traded on an exchange, and transparency is higher as compared to code-driven market. Also, the speed of order execution is higher as compared to code-driven. And code-driven market is securities are traded on OTC. Speed of execution is lower as compared to order-driven. Also, transparency is lower as compared to order-driven market. And this is it.
Okay. 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. What is the difference between direct financing and indirect financing?
Direct financing is where the investors or individuals directly invest into securities which are traded in the market. And indirect financing is where the third parties involved, such as mutual funds. They act as an intermediaries, and investors invest to mutual funds. Mutual fund, the fund manager decides when to buy and sell the security.
Good. What is the difference between equity shares and preference shares?
So equity shareholders are the ordinary shares. They are the part owners of the company. And preference shareholders, they get the preference over the ordinary shares. They are not the owners of the company. They get preference over the ordinary shareholders.
Okay.
And
how many types of preference shares are there?
Sorry.
Who don't have right?
preference shareholders to participate in the company decision.
Okay.
Yeah, so types of preferences, there are 8 types of preference shares. Those are participating, non-participating, cumulative, non-cumulative, redeemable, non-redeemable, convertible, and non-convertible share.
What do you mean by participating?
They have the right to participate in the surplus of the profit, which is given to the ordinary shareholders.
Okay. And what do you mean by cumulative?
Cumulative shares where 1 year, suppose 1 year dividend is not paid to the shareholders and it gets accumulated and it gets paid with the next year's dividend.
Okay. What do you mean by ADR?
ADR is American Depository Receipt. Is a depository who what can say who trades on behalf of the foreign company, and it is a legal relationship between a foreign company and the ADR, which absorbs the security, equity security of that company as an underlying. So they are mostly traded. There are 2 types in that: sponsored ADR and unsponsored. Sponsored ADR are basically traded on major NY exchanges, and non-sponsored are traded on OTC market.
Okay, very good. How are treasury bills issued?
Treasury bills are issued by government.
How are they issued? You are saying who issues? Okay.
Through auction process, and that process is known as Dutch auction.
Okay. What are the different types of participants in auction process? Competitive.
Yes, competitive bidders and non-competitive bidders. Competitive bidders offers their own percentage of yield to the treasury, and they allots the bill to them in the ascending order. That is, lowest is accepted first, and non-competitive is a average of accepted yield competitive bills.
Okay. And how are commercial papers issued?
Commercial papers are issued via private placement.
Okay. What is relationship between interest rate and yield?
If interest rate goes up, yield also goes up. There's a direct relation.
Okay. What is accrued interest?
Accrued interest is an interest which is accrued but not yet received. It gets paid. Sorry.
Yeah. What are the different ways of calculating accrued interest?
Different ways. Sorry, I'm not sure about this.
What are different methods? What are the different methods of calculating accrued interest? 30 by 360.
Yes. 30 by 360, 30 by 365, actual by actual, and actual by 365.
Okay. What does 30 by 360 assumes?
It assumes that every month has 30 days and 365 days in a year.
30 by 360. It assumes
30 by 360. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. So it assumes 30 days in every month. However, 360 days in a year.
Okay. What do you mean by securitization?
So securitization is a process wherein illiquid assets gets transferred into securities through SPV, which is a special purpose vehicle. The special purpose vehicle creates a bundle of assets and then transfer it into securities as an underlying asset. So securitization helps bank to minimize the risk from their books and to achieve the liquidity.
What do you mean by non-deliverable forward?
Non-deliverable forward contract is cash settled, and they are traded on exchange, and it is
Yes, they are traded on exchange. They are traded
sorry,
on exchange.
OTC, sorry,
Okay.
cash settle and OTC. And it is non-deliverable forward is a contract taken on non-deliverable currency, which is not freely movable into two non-domestic countries.
Mm-hmm. And how is profit calculated in NDF contract?
Non-deliverable currency goes flat and profit and loss is calculated in deliverable currency.
Okay. Suppose you have taken a sell future contract and
taken a sell future.
Yes, you have taken a sell futures contract, and when you took the contract, the spot price was 1540.
Okay.
Right? And the next day price became 1545.
Okay.
What is the mark to market P&L?
Mark to market 5.
So 5 rupees is profit or loss?
It is. I've taken up.
You have taken a sell future.
Sell future. So yeah, it is a loss.
Why it is a loss?
Because the price got increased.
Okay. So when will be the profit in when price is increasing? When will you have profit? Which contract you'll have to buy? Buy future, right?
Buy future.
Suppose you have taken a put option. You have taken a put option and your strike price is 1740.
Okay.
Your premium is 10 rupees.
Okay.
And the spot price is on expiry. When the option got expired, the spot price was 1800. I will repeat again. You have taken a put option, long put. You have taken a long put, right? You have taken a long put. Your strike price is 1740, 1740. Your premium is 10 rupees. And the spot price as on expiry of the contract was 1800. What is the P&L? What is the P&L of long put?
40 rupees.
No. Loss है ना, long put लिया था, price goes down, but instead of going down, price went up. So what is the loss? It's a loss. What is the loss?
So 1740 plus 10 premium, 1750.
No, maximum loss is premium. Loss is 10 rupees.
10. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, से ज़्यादा काम चलेगा.
हाँ.
ठीक है.
Yes.
It's okay. It was good overall. It was very good, but just revise derivatives. It was very good.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.